what you think about when you think of steam, the hiss and chug of an old steam engine. Or maybe you think about those steam locomotives racing from station to station in a bygone era of romance and nostalgia. Well, that may be a fair representation of the history of steam, but believe me, it tells you nothing about steam today, or for that matter, the future of steam.
Evidence of steam's importance to our everyday lives is literally all around us. Steam is no longer mainly used for motive power. It's more commonly employed today as a carrier of heat in the processing of raw materials. And in the vital job of providing absolute sterility.
Almost anywhere you go in the world, the chances are that you're surrounded by products and services which depend on steam. And this petrol station is no exception. The tyres in my car were moulded in a controlled heat process using steam. The same is true of the plastics in the interior that make up my seats, dashboard and controls. The fibres in this jacket were conditioned in steam. My jeans were dyed in a steam process. And even my trainers have soles moulded in heat released from steam. And this petrol, like all petrochemicals, is distilled from crude oil, again using steam as the heat source at a number of stages in the process. Indeed, petrochemicals form the basis of thousands of household products, anything from Vaseline to washing up liquid. And as I said, steam's also used for sterilization. Nearly all of these products are made safe for human consumption, thanks to steam. In fact, steam is the most widespread means of sterilization used today. And steam's original use in the creation of motive power has not been left behind by the march of technology. These pumps and the forecourt lights all rely on electricity, which is generated by steam turbines, turbines driven by the motive power of steam. The truth is, you can't open a door or a boot, or walk down the street without being surrounded by products that depend on steam. So why is steam so popular an industrial heat source and so good a sterilizing medium? Why has it survived alongside newer developing technologies? Well, whilst I go and pay for my steam distilled fill-up, I'll leave you to find out.
Steam has a number of obvious benefits. It isn't flammable, explosive, poisonous, or corrosive. As heat sources go, it's a pretty safe choice. But steam's real strength is down to elementary physics. It takes a great deal of energy to turn water into steam. This energy is invisible, but that doesn't mean it disappears. It remains trapped in the steam in a form of energy reservoir and is only released again when steam turns back into water. In practice, this energy is released as heat and is transferred with formidable speed whenever it meets a colder surface. And this brings us to steam's second useful physical characteristic, which is the nature of its flow. Steam flows quickly from areas of high pressure to areas of low pressure without the need for expensive pumps, making it very easy to distribute around a factory or process plant. Thirdly, if saturated steam is controlled at a particular pressure, which is under proper conditions a relatively simple thing to do, you can achieve the far more difficult task of precise temperature control. Which leads us indirectly to a further logical conclusion, namely that for industry to make efficient use of steam, it needs to be both controlled and conditioned. Here, steam's heat is being used to mould tyres. The temperature is critical and needs to be carefully controlled and monitored. But it's not just heavy industries that employ steam. Changing lifestyles bring ever more stringent health requirements. The controlled injection of high-quality, sterile steam is the most advanced and hygienic way of regulating the humidity of the air we breathe, and a sure way to avoid all risk of bacterial contamination in ducts and pipework. And even in the delicate process of microchip assembly, steam humidification ensures that static electricity doesn't interfere with quality production. And steam sterilizing powers are being put to use at this health food factory. Preheating food for easy mixing, and ultimately cooking and sterilizing the final recipe.
Welcome back to another steam-related environment. The air conditioning in this office is humidified using steam. But I digress. I think by now you will have recognized that steam has changed with the times. In fact, industrial change has been good news for the steam specialists. Just about every time a new factory is built or a process commissioned, a new steam system is involved. And just to satisfy my own curiosity, whilst you were away, I did a spot of research on my own, here in the FT. Incidentally, it may be true that no FT means no comment, but no steam means no FT. All paper manufacture requires steam. But back to my on-the-spot research. It looks as if well over 2/3 of the companies share listed in here use steam in their production processes. Now, if that doesn't ensure the future of steam, I don't know what does.